A simulation.
Wow.
idea of the picture smudged and then reality smudged. And here, I become we with you. Me?
What?
Podpalax. No. I'm not sure I heard that first part correctly.
I'm not sure I did either.
At first they came through the gate. Then they came through the stars. There's a pause. Did they come for you? He looks at me. I feel my legs begin to shake. I tremble, wishing I was anywhere but here. The others before, they bounce, undulating in constant, restless motion. The hollowed figure heaves, breathing heavily as he sways Sydney's body up and down. He stares at me with eyes that remind me of the fish Carl and I caught at the pond. But that's not what you want. You want the answers. After all, it's a bit late for love, and too still for lust. I just fucking need to know what happened. To Sydney. So this hysteria stops, that everyone else is safe again. That could help. But are you sure you really want to know? You can chase the truth until you're red in the face. The thing looks over toward the smoke-room door. What was once Sydney raises his arm to point at it with a natural, stuttery movement. It ebbs and flows like the tide. You can ride it. Each time the tide comes in, it's a little less of what it once was, abstracted. It goes where sorrow sprouts, and takes with it what it can before rolling back out. Some tides are particularly large. He waves a blurred paw at me, and again I see the metal thing grasped in his paw. He seems to see me looking at it, and holds it in front of me. You burn them all down around you until only the truth remains. You needn't the superfluous kindling, for those are but the lies they tell others, and eventually themselves. You'd make a good detective if you weren't marinating in your nepotistic squalor. Unlovable, shameful, a sin to all who initially cared for you. Truly only belonging amongst the sawdust, semen, and ash, thoughts drowned out amidst the moaning and groaning of unfamiliar shadows. The only one who precisely knew you, who precisely loved you, ushered into the tide by those who you thought fondly of. And justice denied again and again and again. He presses the barbed tip of the rod into the table. Oh, it's a fire poker. You can just barely see
yes.
it. There were 6, and now there's 5. The distorted otter is looking at the thing in his grasp as he says this. It's a fire poker. I hesitate to speak, my mouth feeling dry and my forked tongue caught between my teeth. Yeah, I get it, but... Well, what I just saw with Sydney, was that real? It could be. Somewhere in here. He seems to be referring to the poker. I reach for it, but my hand can't quite touch the metal. It phases right through it. The hollowed thing just stares at me, watching my futile attempt. Slowly I rise to my feet, my legs gelatin-like, as I wobble some. I manage to steady myself with my tail, grasping the sticky table for support. No!
Yeah, don't touch the table!
The distorted otter just watches me, somehow almost looking eager. With no small amount of trepidation, I begin approaching the smoke room door, the sound of crackling flames growing louder the closer I get. This has to be it. The alternative being doing nothing, which, while real damn appealing, probably wouldn't stop what's going on outside. If that's how this works, that is. I grasp the handle. Fuck me. Many have.
Oh gosh.
I stop, looking back over my shoulder. The figure is leering closer now. Fuck you too. As I turn back to face the door, I swear I see the shape smile. I turn the knob and step inside. The air is absolutely electric. It's electric. Na 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 na. And I feel myself involuntarily shiver. I brace myself against the wood-sided walls, staring through the darkness. I've never seen it this empty before, and I get the sensation in my gut that something terrible happened here.
This is a creepy image.
Yeah. It's like a curtain. And no working color. Ooh.
What?
Listen. It's the title theme.
Yeah, it is the title theme.
Distorted through flames. Looking back, I don't think the shape followed me. I'm still here. God damn it, leave me alone! I feel my blood chill, but I keep moving. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. This version of the smoke room is impossibly large. I keep walking through the darkness, expecting to reach an end, but it doesn't happen. It just keeps looping in on itself. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I hear a sharp crack, a gunshot, followed by a low cry. Someone's wailing. It doesn't sound like it's coming from inside, but rather a reverberating noise outside, far away. The whole room begins to vibrate as if activated. The rumbling, it's stronger on one side of the room. I walk in that direction. As I approach, I hear more wailing, more voices, some sounding different and rather close.
When?
Now there's huffing and panting, the sound of hooves and soft feet upon a stone floor. They're in the mine? They're trying to catch up to me at the other end of a long, cavernous hallway. The rebar from before. Jesus. I'm not in the smoke room. I'm in the mines. And it's very, very hot. I feel my whole body rumble, like shockwaves are bouncing my insides. Kinetic energy, electricity, like 1,000 subwoofers reverberating from the stone walls. We're here. The source. The seed.
Dude.
Stay back. Initially, it's like a cold shower, an icy sensation that presses against my front and washes over me like a tide. I recoil, but there's nowhere to withdraw back to. At first measure, the body is unable to discern extreme cold from extreme heat, though that time soon passes, and the burning feels all too real. I can feel it seep in between the cracks of my scales and lick at the more vulnerable flesh beneath. I'm standing in fire, but I don't see it. I see nothing. I can't even tell where it's from. Wherever I go, the burning follows. The fabric of my clothes ripples, and the seams begin to snap away. Some of it falls to the floor, where the rest clings to my body like new skin. Even the air I breathe burns, making my insides boil. This isn't in my head. This is real. I'm burning. I flail into the darkness, running now. After a while, it feels like I'm practically gliding. I hear a sound and move toward it. Fucking help me! I utter, my voice raspy and light. Footsteps. There are several of them, and a bonfire. I see the silhouettes of people running, flailing about just like me. Panic everywhere. A woman, Genevieve Sanders, the mail carrier, is standing above the fire. A gun is in her hands. Salem's body is burning. And beside her is Auntie, facing down with a bloody hole in the back of her head. Ooh. Well, the mayor's dead.
Oh.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
No. I pinch myself, trying to wake up. I pinch so hard I feel the scale on my arm split in half and blood that seems like it's boiling pools from it. It quickly evaporates, and all that's left is a mark of reddish-pink flesh beneath. Scar tissue. I look up, and she's still standing there, mouth agape. Like she's frozen, but her eyes follow me in real time. She sees me, but it's like she can't act. Why? Fucking why? I receive no answer from the horrified visage. She's still holding the gun. She'll do it again. She'll do it again. And I can only stop her. Let's pick the bottom one.
It'd be funny if they actually did something different. Like,
Each option did, but they're just unmarked choices.
it would throw everybody off.
Like they all have choices, but they don't tell you what any of them mean. I lunge, and it's like she's made of sand, flesh dissolving away beneath my claws as I touch her. And then, it's like a rope wrapped around my waist yanks me back. The wind is like sandpaper against my burning head as I fly through the blurred shapes and silhouettes. What did I do? Was that real? Oh, God. Auntie. Jesus. Fuck, what's happening? Next thing I know, I'm in front of City Hall again. Though, everything's different. There's a crowd gathered around the large tree outside, and their clothes are all old-timey like. The hanging tree. Men in suspenders, women in prairie blouses. Their faces are furious blurs, polygonal masses of fur and teeth that seem to exude their emotion more strongly than their distinct facial features. A Meseta Fennec stands upon a wooden stool with a noose wrapped around his neck, the priest next to him reading his last rites. The man is so angry, so hurt, tears like waterfalls down his matted yellow cheeks. Someone hurls a piece of hardtack that hits him square in the jaw, but he doesn't react. The cries of the crowd are obscured, distorted, something about a child or children. There's a man at the edge of the crowd, a ram, the one the Fennec is staring at. He looks like Carl. The ram pivots on his hooves, turning to walk away, but he stops when he sees me, his expression vacant. The Fennec shouts indiscernible hatred at the man, and just then the stool is kicked out from beneath him. As he sways, feet kicking and driblets of piss cascading down his overalls, it's as if the ground itself begins to bounce. There's something so palpable and awful that it's beyond words. That I can feel within my mind more readily than the burning of my flesh. The stony faces of the mob seem completely unaware that their actions are feeding something far greater than they will ever know. I'm sucked away again. The feel of scales fall from my body like black and orange confetti. My thudding heartbeat is becoming increasingly irregular. I'm standing behind a shelf now, or in Brian's house, where Flynn's never been. There's someone in a hoodie next to me, but he doesn't notice I'm here. He's got a camcorder. I think it's Salem? He's younger. A large bear, larger than me by a couple of inches, steps out of what looks like the bathroom door. It's Brian, meth dealer who lives in a trailer on the outskirts of the old city limits. I see him at the smoke room sometimes. He deals there.
Oh god.
No.
I don't like picturing him interacting with anyone.
Well, yeah. Now we know where he's finding people.
Yeah, but that's horrible.
Yeah.
He's a predator. He shouldn't be allowed in there.
Neither of them are looking in my direction. I soon see why. There's a Fennec on what looks like a rack nearby.
Keith.
It's
Keith.
Yeah.
Who's
was
Salem? Who's Salem again?
Salem's the boar that died.
Oh, the one that they brought the body
We found
out.
him as a body.
Okay.
I think he died trying to escape the town, so he's like the warning not to try to do that. So Salem wasn't a great guy. Salem was filming Keith being tortured, I think.
Oh, well then it's okay. He's dead then.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Fuck that
guy. I guess we don't care now.
Now it's even more muddy and weird that, like, Heather saw Salem's body and thought it was Keith and stayed convinced the whole scene.
Well, maybe they need... I mean, Heather's obviously very unstable. And so I feel like they needed her to be unstable because if she said anything about that, then it would give this away. I don't know.
I don't think she knows about any of this. Because she doesn't know what happened to Keith, because she's one of the several people that want to know what happened to him.
Yeah, that is true. But
we missed it, but Keith shows up briefly during Heather's freak out scene where she is threatening to shoot everybody in her house. Mm-hmm. I guess people point out that Keith shows up in the background at one point. It's like she has a Keith tulpa, like the chase one for Leo. And I wonder if that.
But I feel like she should recognize Salem. If Salem's running with this crowd, you think that she would have recognized him? But
yeah, well, they're not similar at all. So I assume it might be that if Salem's tied to Keith's death, then he might be manifesting, since she's able to see him.
She might see him as Keith.
Yeah. There's a fennec on what looks like a rack nearby. One of his eyeballs is gone, but he's still alive. That's a rough start. That's already a rough start. On the television behind Brian, a slideshow of grotesque images flashes by. One of the fennec's missing eye on the smokeroom counter.
Why is he allowed there? He shouldn't be allowed in that business anymore. Oh, okay. This next part.
Looks like the place was closed, so nobody could walk in and see what they were doing. In the real world, the fennec's words are garbled and distorted, as if coming from an old VHS. He's feigning love for the bear, asking for him to hold him tender-like instead of whatever else he has planned. The fennec's face becomes increasingly blurry. Is that Danny? Casey? Keith? That's a little trippy because Casey is the missing character in Night in the Woods.
Oh yeah.
It's a similar character to Keith, actually. There were so many. They blur together. Salem's grinning, the reflection of his camcorder screen leaving a stark glint in his eyes. I feel myself move out from behind the shelf, beyond my own will. There's a rumbling pull in my gut. I'll be pulled away any moment now.
Oh, wow,
damn.
These are all, I think, very different choices. Like, I mean, like, these are... I'm not entirely sure what... Like, okay, usually when we have a choice, I like some semblance as to what the end result will be.
No, I have no
I'm actually
idea.
really baffled here, because there's a question as to if we can do anything at all, because we're not really supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And if this will actually affect anything else in regards to timelines or anything. I don't think attacking Salem would do nothing. I mean, you're just attacking the guy who's holding the camcorder.
It almost makes you wonder if this is how Salem died, but I thought they claimed he tried to leave, but all they know is what we do know is we found Salem like this.
No, they did say he tried to leave.
Oh, the horned toad found him.
Yeah, and they brought him out as like the auntie mentioned that.
I showed Stephanie the horned toad fan art that was spawned by the previous conversation.
I was mad.
Very happy.
It's very cute and I love it. And I was mad at myself because for a brief second
that's not a frog.
I forgot that I thought it was a frog, and I'm like, I should fucking know better because I should know lizards. And I forgot that it was a type of lizard. I totally forgot. And when I saw the picture, I was like, oh fucking yeah! I had like a flashback. I was like, oh,
it does have a dumb name like Red Panda.
Yeah, I mean, red pandas look like... I get why they're called that. They look like pandas.
But they both look like and are basically like raccoons.
And koala bears aren't bears.
No, everything's lies. We're bad at this. I'm tempted to try to stop this from happening to Keith.
Of course you are,
like,
Keith.
Just try to end this, because it doesn't go well. He will just be tortured for days.
So would you rather attack Brian, or would you rather kill Keith.
I was gonna kill Keith.
I don't think you have a chance of beating Brian, which is why I'm saying I think doing the last one's your best bet.
I just don't know if we can meaningfully stop Brian, but it's hard to say. Brian does get killed by some kind of creature like us, or like this, or something at some point. I don't know what we are. I don't know if we're doing something, actually. But, like... Didn't it say... No, Brian came out of the closet. Or something. I thought it said we came out of the closet. I'm like, are we being...
No.
Like, are we piloting the
Brian got attacked by the red monster that Jenna sees.
Which came out of his closet.
Yeah.
So I thought I read that we came out of the closet, so I was like, are we doing that perspective now?
We're behind a shelf, I guess.
Yeah.
So...
Let's put the fennec out of his mimicry. My scarred body lunges, and the fennec's head is crushed. The brain and all the fears and pain contained within gone in an instant.
They're real.
As I'm pulled away, I can just make out the astonished face of Brian. He looks like he's in awe, a sense of knowing underlying his fucked up features. Salem doesn't take his gaze off the camcorder screen. I gasp into the void, the fresh blood mixing with my own. Okay, I think we made things worse. I think we confirmed Brian's expectations, and that might inform his behavior of what he did.
Well, and maybe we are the red thing, because we're all burned.
Yeah, because we're all burned. It raised the question of like what we look at like now.
And obviously Brian doesn't recognize us as being like I want to say human, but that's not right. He doesn't recognize us as being like a person.
He just said they're real, so whatever we are.
And Brian believes in aliens.
We resemble the aliens he thinks are real.
So we don't look like a person right now.
Yeah.
So we got that established.
My actions no longer feel entirely of my own volition. It's like something pulling in my skull. Like back at City Hall when I condemned Chase. We make the justice we are given. I pop back in front of the familiar ram and salamander. Like all that happened was some horrible vision. But my body feels the same, and the gaping expressions of the duo show no sign of relief. That kills people. I can barely make the noise with my throat the way it is. I can practically feel my vocal cords snap away as I speak, letting me only exude a guttural growl. I reach out to him, seeing the sinewy red appendage my arm has become. The tunnel shakes around me. Carl and Dax both turn and flee, Salamander screaming his absolute lungs out. I'm terrifying to them. As they're about to round the corner, I see Carl hesitate. He looks back to me. I can't see his expression, and I can't call out to him. I have to let him know I'm still in here. With some strained effort, I turn my wrist around and close all but one of my fingers.
Are you flipping him off?
Yes. That's one way to show you're in there. The ram continues to stare as the rumbling increases. I pulled away once more. It goes on like this. At each stop, I lose more of myself, mentally and physically. Each visage that appears before me, some new unspeakable evil I hadn't fathomed existing. From time to time, I let the thing inside my head take more and more control. Sometimes I don't have the control in the first place, when the suffering is strongest. Where Sam thrives, he drives. Like my body, I become numb. All but my vision and hearing is gone, and they're swiftly fading too. I keep closing my eyes, waiting for it to end, but it doesn't. I can't die. I hear the soft pitter of feet on a rocky embankment. Somewhere down the way, stones are being skipped. This is Sydney's death.
Yeah, it is.
Because TJ saw
a
Flynn
monster.
There. Yeah. Clap. Someone threw a big one. Then, sniffling, followed by a low sob. Crying has become so familiar to me. I hear it more than anything else. It feels like It's like singing, isn't it? Purest expression of emotion. Fuck you. But this one's more familiar. To me as well. I can just make out the audible sound of little pebbles rolling down a hill, followed by a heavy thud. I turn to see a faint gray silhouette with big blue eyes. What? What? The voice hits me like electricity. This is it. I'm what he saw that day, on the beach by the outlet. Finally. He screams. They always scream. I have to follow him. I have to see it. I descend beneath the waves, and I see excess fat drift from my body into the tidal current.
Gross.
So fucking upsetting.
That's fucking gross.
The water is abrasive, but I'm about to glide through it. But I'm able to glide through it, swimming without swimming. Something pops, and suddenly I can't see from my left eye.
Oh my god, your eyeball popped out. Jeez.
I don't think it popped out, I think it burst into flames.
Yeah, ugh.
This is really... There's white water ahead. Thrashing movement. A slight bit of reddish-pink mist dissolves in the current in front of me.
Your eyeball popped.
No. No! I strain myself to hear, trying to keep absolutely still. But other than the faint, occasional splash, there's nothing. Eventually the splashing stops, and I know my best friend is dead. I rest in the current, and the voice in my mind is fortuitously silent, not pressing me into movement or action. Both of his eyes went out, so he can't even see the thing that this was all for. The answer he wanted. Ah! Oh, hi, Daxton. You freaked me out for a bit there. I was a bit upsetty when I saw that.
I'm a bit upsetty still. It
Yeah.
doesn't look right. It is Daxton though, because he sees his dumb t-shirt.
Yeah, his t-shirt and his eyes. And though my eyesight is gone and my skull punctuated with nothing but empty sockets and orifices, I see something. Bright blue eyes and starry skin. It's Daxton. I'm sure of it. He does not move, though I can read the intent in his eyes that he very much wants to. Instead, he remains motionless, and we stare at each other. I imagine speaking to him, telling him what's happened to me. My words are rambling, my mind not what it used to be, but it doesn't seem to matter. He meets my gaze regardless. I ask him if Carl's alright, and of course he doesn't respond. I then simply state that I hope he's okay. I go on, and tell him about all the crap the Ram and I have been through, and how much I hope he fucking makes it out decently enough. I'm sure they'll give him another shot at the interview, on account of the town-wide madness. I think the fact that he's thinking about Carl of all things right now is wild. I'm like, bro, stakes.
Yeah.
I tell him I hope it's over now, wherever he is. And finally, I apologize for what an absolute ass I was to him, when he deserved goddamn none of my angsty bullshit. He never shows any indication of understanding, or even blinking. Most surprisingly of all, it feels as though hours pass, and the hysteria simply holds on, whisking me away. No rumbling, no fire, no screeches into sudden chaos. Just a slow, eventual feeling of drifting away somewhere else. Somewhere dry. There's the telltale sound of hot water heater rumbling nearby. It's humming away. Someone must be taking a shower, or it's laundry day. I feel the vibrations more than I actually hear the thing. Then, a faint whimper. The sound is stifled, as if the upset individual is trying to hold back tears. It's high-pitched, feminine, a girl. The distortion's only slight. Is it baby Jenna? It's the monster she saw growing up?
Maybe.
I did not expect this to go full bent neck lady.
Bent neck lady?
haunting on
Hill House?
Hill House, the first one, yeah. There's too many of them now, so I'm like, hang on a minute. I bring my hand up and feel wooden slats, and when I push harder, the whole surface bends and folds outward. It's a closet door.
Yeah, you're right, it is.
The sniffling stops. Slowly, I hold up my hand and do a small wave, gentle movements, as I'm sure the distortion is making it look faster.
He's all twitchy in real life. Oh.
It's quiet. All I can hear is the water heater in the girl's room.
Oh, she lives in the room with the water heater.
Yeah. There's the shuffling of sheets, then small footsteps. Ah! Ah!
Dude.
Baby Jenna!
She's so cute!
The horrible closet monster. That's upsetting.
It's like the cover of a Goosebumps book.
Yeah, it is. Also, yeah, Flynn. That's Flynn now. There's no muzzle or anything. It's just he's Socketman specifically.
Well, but there's the okay. I'm still confused because there's the red one and there's the white one we see on the freeway.
Yeah, I'm still not clear if those are the same guy or not.
I feel like they're different only because hers is specifically red.
I don't know.
And we also encountered the white one.
McSkinny said, you mentioned the Socketman hillside picture being sequenced backwards, so he's calling the thing on the hill Socketman.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that's on the freeway.
Yeah.
Which isn't the red thing.
I think the red thing's different. I think the red thing's Flynn. Which might explain...
But look at his sockets.
Well, yeah, but they both have that
He's
problem.
Socketman.
But remember...
We've never seen the red one before.
We've never seen the red one before, but we hear the red one shows up in Jenna's thing. Which is funny, we didn't cut to that.
Also, I thought Jenna confirmed that she'd seen her Socketman when she and Daxton both looked at the socket and figured out, like, that's the same face. Well,
they just both have the same faces. Because or something, because I don't know why one's white and one's red.
Drawings.
Because in that one where Chase is pissing when they're on a hike, he sees the white face.
The white face.
Remember he like pisses on himself because he gets scared because he sees like out in the bushes he sees a white face.
Yeah, I still wonder if that was a real thing or if he's just freaking himself out.
But it was specifically white, and this one's always specifically talked about as being red.
Well, there's at least one other entity that's separate from Socketman, because there's whatever the thing in the woods is.
Yeah.
The thing that the thing in TJ's route that goes after Chase in the woods, and there's been a few other instances of it. It's like it's in the woods that's like right outside, in whatever blobby area is near seemingly both Leo and Brian's house, because Chase has a dream of being in the woods and trying to run back to Leo's house and being attacked by that thing. It's some kind of creature that latches onto you specifically, and most specifically, it's very prominently featured in Arches in the same woods by Brian's house, which is like something that's distinctly different from whatever this is. So I think that the thing on the freeway and the red thing might both be Socketman, because this is...
Well, why does the freeway have like long, crazy ass arms, and this one just looks like Flynn? This one's just Flynn's body, but burned.
I don't know. Could just be inconsistencies in the art.
Yeah, but that's vast inconsistencies.
Yeah,
that's like completely stylistic differences.
We just watched Sydney's hat change immediately, in 30 seconds after it was established.
That is true.
But no, yeah, the cryptozoology of the Echoverse is hard to pin down exactly.
I think that Flynn's very cute. I would have...
I wonder if there's like an Echo version of like an SCP wiki just to try to track down what the fuck's going on with these characters.
I would be surprised.
And set them all straight. A drink.
Hi, little baby Jenna.
Her voice is timid. There's another long pause.
Are you real?
I think for a moment. Then slowly, I shake my head. That's an interesting thing for a creature to do.
Shake your head yes or shake your head no?
Well, shake your head implies no, but I mean like, the thing that you suspect being fake, saying it's fake, would only may raise more questions. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, way to convince the little girl that she's crazy. You're gonna fuck up her life.
Is this the bad end?
That's fucking... Poor Flynn.
That was brutal.
That was by far the most brutal.
We'll have an extra hint when the CG comes.